Okay, so this is the next video in our continuation of our AWS series. And in this video, we will explore the AWS Lambda function. So let's see what is AWS Lambda and why we have to use it. So let's suppose if you write some code, right, in any language, and you have to run that code. So what are the options you have? So one option is you can run your code in your local computer. So that is purely local computer. There is no cloud like involved in this. But if you have to run your code in the cloud, the other option is like you will spin up some EC2 instance. Now the EC2 instance is like up and running. Now you copy your code into that EC2 instance using like secure copy option. Like once the code will be get copied into your EC2 instance, then maybe you installed some packages like which are required for to run that code, and then you run the code onto the EC2 instance. So in this case, you are spinning up the some EC2 instances, right? But let's suppose you have to run your code only once in a day, or maybe like once in a week. So there are like a few options with you. So first option is like you will spin up the EC2 instance and keep it running for whole day, and whenever you will run, and you will just trigger your code manually or using the cron job. All right, but in this case, like you have to pay the cost for the EC2 instance. The other option is like once you run your code, and you got the output, then you shut down your EC2 instance. So other option is this. But we have few more options, which is the serverless option, and the serverless option is called the Lambda, AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda is same thing, like which we like if we have to run our code into the cloud, but without spinning any EC2 instances, then we can use the AWS Lambda services. So they can provide us one of the service AWS Lambda. So if you have to run our code without spinning up any EC2 instances, without worrying about and by without worrying any provisioning of any infrastructure, then we can go with the AWS. So it is basically serverless function to run the code. All right. So let's search the AWS Lambda. So you could see run code without thinking about servers. So we don't need to worry like let's suppose you spin up the EC2 instance, and when you run the code, when you spin up the EC2 instance, maybe you spin up with 1 GB RAM, right? And you try to run the you in the earlier scenario, like when you are running the Lambda function on the EC2. So let's suppose you spin up the EC2 instance with 1 GB RAM, but when you actually start running your code, and it getting grows and grown, and like it gets bigger and bigger, and then you realize that 1 GB RAM is like not sufficient, then maybe like you will edit the configuration and increase your configuration, or maybe when you terminate the EC2 instance and spin up one more EC2 instance. So a lot of challenges are there. All right, but AWS Lambda is run code without thinking about servers. So I don't need to worry about the underlying servers, like how much memory I need, how much even EC2 instances I need. All right, so I will just use the AWS Lambda. So if you click on it, so this page will be open as a dashboard. But if you go to the URL, you could see in the URL there is a discover option. So if you see there is a discover option, so discover option may be for the if you are using the new UI. So we have the discover, but if you just like remove the discover and change it with the begin and hit enter, then you could see like one more interface, right? So this interface is basically to teach us like what exactly Lambda is, and what it actually do. So AWS Lambda is lets you run code without thinking about the servers. So we will pay only for the Lambda execution, that is the compute time. Let's suppose our like code is running for the 2 milliseconds, then we will pay only for the 2 millisecond. We will not pay for the whole day, because in the EC2 instance we are spinning up the EC2 instances, and let's suppose we make it up for 1 hour, but our code just take 3 seconds. Then why should I pay for the for whole day for the EC2 instance? I will only pay for the 3 seconds. All right. So I just change the URL from discover to begin. Okay, so here you can learn about how it works. So it supports multiple languages, but not all the languages. Right now it supports a very few languages, so like .NET, Go, Java, Python, Node.js, Ruby, but we will work on the Python, so our language is supported, so we don't need to worry. All right. And there are custom runtime language, so custom runtime language like a Rust kind of language, like it's supported. So Python is supported. So how it works? So it says that let's try to run it. So there is just a Python code. What we have to do, we have to write our code. So let's suppose we write our code, which just print the hello world. All right. So if we run it, it will print hello from the Lambda. So in the URL earlier it was discovered, we changed to begin. All right. Begin just to learn what the Lambda will do. So if we run the code, whatever the function we will do, it will just print the output. Okay, so then we click on the next. Lambda responds to events. So Lambda also responds to events. So you could see these events are coming, and here in the black window, you could see hello from Lambda, hello from Lambda, hello from Lambda is getting printed. So we can send the response for the mobile notification. If you click on the mobile, see one notification sent. Now the two Lambda get triggered. So if you try to send one more notification, like one more Lambda will be triggered from the image from the S3 events as well. Events means like if we put something into any other service and then we want Lambda should trigger. So let's suppose I click on this image and that image put on the S3 bucket and the Lambda will be triggered. So see, the Lambda will be getting triggered. So much Lambda will be triggered, right? Because I click multiple times. When it finished, then like every Lambda finished, now only one Lambda is running. Right. So it's a good view to teach like what exactly the Lambda will does. So a good example of the Lambda is, so let's suppose you have some image which is of a huge size, right? And you write some Python code to crop that image, right? Or to make some reduce its size, right? So you write some code. So you have code in the Python, right? Now you want to run that code to uh, decrease the size. So what we will do, we have the image, we will put into the S3 bucket. And now as soon as it put into the S3 bucket, we will send the event to the Lambda. And on the Lambda, we have the Python code, and the Python code will be triggered. So any number of image and the output will be stored. So output will be stored back into the maybe S3, or maybe some metadata we can store in some DynamoDB table. All right, so a lot of functionality we can do. Okay, so this is the view, basically what it's trying to do. So Lambda can work on the event based as well. Lambda basically responds to the events. Next is the scale seamlessly. So you could see in this option, invocations are 71736 and cost is 0, because it's tell us for the first 1 million invocation our cost is 0. As soon as it crosses the 1 million, you will see here the rise in the cost. Right now it is 0.00. Why that 0.00? Because right now we have not reached 1 million. Now 1 million reach, now the cost getting increased. So for the first 1 million, the Lambda is free. So if you go to the AWS free tier, and you scroll down and search whether the Lambda is free or not, you could say 1 million free requests per month. So per month we can hit 1 million requests. So it depends upon the number of requests. Also it depends upon the duration, for how much time the Lambda is getting running. Okay. So now, and also if I try to see in this graph, you could see a very small bar graph things, right? But if I hit continuously, if I hit continuously, so many Lambda function get triggered at the backend, right? So I don't need to worry about the resources. I don't need to worry about the anything. So Lambda is very seamlessly, it will scales up and down automatically. So if I has many number of requests, so more Lambda will be triggered automatically. And as soon as my request get completed, only like one Lambda is like remain. So it will scale up and down, and you have like 1 million free requests per uh, like basically 10 lakh requests we can trigger without any worry about the underlying cost. Okay, now you can click on the create function. So in the create function we have the like 4 option, whether we can write from the scratch, so we have to like write our own code. And here we have a lot of language: .NET, Go, Ruby, Python, so a number of language which is supported. And also we can use a blueprint. So they have given us some example, basically 45 blueprints they have provided. So they have written some code for us, and we can like use their code as is, or otherwise we can write our own code from the scratch. So let's use a blueprint, because we are just learning the basics of the Lambda. So use a blueprint, and under the blueprint we have the 45 blueprints. So on this page we see only 4, 4, 8 or 10, but there are 5 more pages. So let's search for the hello world. So hello world Python. So as I select hello world Python, I could see one blueprint. If I select this, and it is written in the Python 3.7, if I select this and configure it, and let's give the name of the function hello lambda. All right, so I have given the name of the function hello lambda. Now it is asking me to create a new role for the basic Lambda permission. So what basically Lambda do is Lambda also write the logs into the CloudWatch. Like we are running our code, but what actually that code is doing, like from where we can see the logs. So we can see the logs into the CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a different service, Lambda is a different service. So Lambda has to write the logs into the CloudWatch. So Lambda first need the permission to write something into the CloudWatch. And to give the permission, we have to create some role, and we have to attach that role. We have to create some role, and on that role we have to attach some permission, and that role we have to attach with the Lambda. So it will automatically create a new role. So if you go to the IAM, right now you could see 10 roles we have. If you click on the roles, we have like 10 roles. All right, so it will create a role, and it say I will create a role with this name, hello lambda role, and like some characters, right? And which has the permission to upload the logs to the CloudWatch. Okay, so it has like write a code, because we have used the blueprint, so code is already written for us. So let's click on the create function. It will take a few seconds, because at the back end it is trying to create the IAM role as well. So function has been created, and if I go here, right now I have the 10 roles, but if I refresh here, I could see number of roles are 11, and one more role has been created, hello lambda role. If I click on this, and I could see the permission, let me refresh it. So if I expand this, so the policy, you could see the policy. The policy is because it has to write the logs into the CloudWatch, and in the CloudWatch there is a concept of the log group and the log stream. We will like see later, but just for the time being, you can understand there is a log group and there is a log stream. So it has to create the log group, and under that log group it has to create the log stream, and within the log stream it will put some events means the log. So it has given the allow access and the create log group and the create log. So it automatically it created the policy, or otherwise you can create the policy. All right, so let's close this. And now like our function hello lambda is created. All right, and your code has been updated while you make sense. Okay, so if you click on the lambda function.py, our like function is ready. So it will print the like a loading function, and function name is like Lambda handler, and it is taking the event and the context. So by whenever you like even write your own code, we have to pass some event field, because Lambda is basically based on based on the events only. We have to pass some events and then only Lambda will be triggered. So it is basically event based. So we are printing some values. We will pass some event here, and in the event we will pass some JSON, and we will read key value pair, and we will print it. So if you click on the test, let's test it, and it says you have to create a new event. Okay, Lambda event, and scroll down, and we are passing some value, key 1 value 1, key 2 value 2, key 3 value 3. Okay, and save that. And now if you click on this, you could see Lambda event is already there. And if I click on the test, my result is there. Like it is returning value 1. Why it is returning value 1? Because we are returning the key 1 only, and key 1 has the value 1. And then we are printing rest of the values like loading function, value 1, value 2, value 3. And we could see the start request ID, end request ID. Along with that, you could see here the duration, how much time it will take to execute. It took only 1.41 millisecond, and build duration is 2 millisecond. And the memory size of this function is automatically assigned some memory, 128 MB memory by default, but we can change it, and it used 35 MB memory. Okay, along with it, because we are running the Lambda first time, that's why you are seeing here init duration, that is the initialized duration, right? So if I rerun it again, you could see I did not see init duration because Lambda is already initialized. So I will not see here the init duration. Only for the first time I am able to see the init duration, like initialized duration. Okay. So this has been created, but I said it will write the logs into the CloudWatch. So if I search, if you go to the CloudWatch, so CloudWatch is basically monitor resources and application. If I open into the new tab, right, and if I go to the under the logs, there is a log groups. So it created one log group, right? So keep it like by default, Lambda created a log group with the name AWS/Lambda and then your function name. By default, like it created the log group with this name, right? So AWS Lambda and our function name is hello Lambda. So if you go here, our function name is hello Lambda. And if I open this is a log group. So log group consists of the log streams. So one stream has been created. If I click on it, I could see the logs here. So start request ID, end request ID, and I triggered 2 times. That's why I could see two logs within the same log stream, right? Okay, and one more thing to note. So right now we could see all the logs in a one log stream, right? If I even rerun that, so let's rerun it, let's test again. And if I go here and if I refresh here, so there should be one more logs will be there. So yeah, so logs now come here. So now I could see 3 logs, but all the logs within the same log stream. So here, like the conclusion is, once we deploy the Lambda and run it any number of times, only one log stream will be created. But if we redeploy the Lambda and then run it, it will create a new log stream. It will not write the logs into the previous log stream, it will create a new log stream. So let's see in the practical. And if I go here, if I go to the Lambda function, and if I do some changes, so let's do the changes. So this print statement is commented. So let me uncomment it, and I have to redeploy it. So let's redeploy. So basically click on the deploy button. So I will click on the deploy. So successfully updated the function hello world. Now I click on the test. So I could see like a loading function, and then it is printing and then printing. So if I go to the my CloudWatch and go to the log groups, now I could see two log streams. If I open the latest one, and I have the output start request ID. Start request ID is basically when the Lambda has started, and end request ID is like the when the Lambda has finished. And in the between that, like we could see the Lambda logs, whatever the print statement or logging.info, logging.error, any kind of information. If there is any in our code, we can see here. Okay, so this is like main thing, because if we deploy the Lambda, then only it will create the log stream. If we rerun the Lambda without any deploying any number of times, whatever the log stream already there, like, or it created during the first deploy, then it will write the like logs on into the same stream. Okay, and if you go to the there are so many options like test monitor configuration release. So if you click on the configuration, and if you go to the general configuration, you could see 128 MB memory. You can edit the memory. So you can increase, you can edit the memory for 128 to 1024, and you can set, like you can increase the timeout, but you can't increase the timeout more than 15 seconds. So let's suppose if I go to like try to 15 minutes 3 seconds, it give me the error. The maximum timeout is 15 minutes only. So the maximum timeout is 15 minutes only. So you can do a lot of manual changes here. And if I go here, you could see the one monitor option. If you click on the monitor, so if you click on the metrics, you can see here like how many requests came at what time. So at this time 2 requests, at this time 2 requests, at this time 1 request. Like what are the success rate of the request, right? At 20 there is a 1 request, at 21 there is only 1 request, at 21 there is a 2 request, at this time there is a 1 more request. So we can see the metrics here. If you go to the logs, so under the logs we can see the logs group as well. So when I run my function, then it like writes the log into the same log stream. So you could see 435E5E, 435E. Then I did some changes and I redeployed, then it created the new log stream. So I click on this log stream as well. It open me into the CloudWatch only. So you can go directly from here as well, or otherwise you can migrate to manually only by searching the CloudWatch service. Okay, so let's see a few more options. So I will go to the function. If I click on it, and below you could see runtime is Python 3.7. So runtime is basically the language in which you write your code. And handler means so the how the handler will what is the syntax of the handler? So syntax of the handler is your Python file name, whatever the Python file name, along with the function name which will invoke on the start of the Python script. So you could see if I scroll up, so our Python file name is lambda function.py. So our handler name started with the lambda function, then there is a dot, and then within the lambda function, within the lambda function file, which function will be invoked first. So this function will be invoked lambda handler. So dot lambda handler. So this is the basically the syntax of the lambda handler. So that's it. So we will see a few more practicals in coming videos for the lambda. So let's clear everything. So let me delete it. So this has been deleted. So let's delete the log group as well. delete log group, and let me delete the IAM role as well. Though there is no charges, but still like we will clean up. So click on it and delete. Now we are back to the 10 rows. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you.